If you're seeing a Zapier Error 500, don't worry, in this video I'm going to walk you through the fastest way to troubleshoot it step by step. This kind of error usually means there's a problem either with the target app, your connection, or the way the Zap is set up, so the goal here is to isolate the cause as quickly as possible. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to check whether the app is down, verify Zapier's status, reconnect your account, and publish your Zap correctly. And if this video helps you out, please hit the like button and subscribe for more simple software tutorials like this. Alright, let's get started. First, you want to check whether the problem is actually on the app's side. A lot of times, Error 500 happens because the target app is having server issues, and if that's the case, there may be nothing wrong with your Zap at all. Open your browser and go to downforeveryone or justme.com. Once the site loads, enter the website or app you're trying to connect with Zapier. This tool will tell you whether the site is down for everyone or just not working for you. If the target app is down, that explains the error, and the best thing to do is wait until the service is restored before testing the Zap again. Next, go directly to Zapier's status page. Open a new tab and visit status.zapier.com. Here, you can check whether Zapier is experiencing any incidents, partial outages, or performance issues. If Zapier itself is having a problem, that can also trigger an Error 500 or cause your Zap to fail when you try to run or publish it. If you see anything marked as degraded or down, the safest move is to wait until the platform is back to normal and then try again. If both the target app and Zapier appear to be working, the next step is to inspect the actual Zap inside Zapier. Go into Zapier and click on Assets. Then click on Zap Workflows. This is where you can find the Zap that is causing the error. Open the specific Zap that is giving you trouble so you can review its connection and configuration. Once you have the Zap open, the next thing to do is disconnect and reconnect your app account. This is one of the most effective fixes for authentication and permission-related issues. A broken or outdated connection can easily trigger a 500 error, especially if the app changed something in the background or if your access token expired. Disconnect the app account, then reconnect it carefully and make sure you sign in with the correct account. Now this part is very important. Check that your user account has admin or write access in the target app. If your account only has limited permissions, Zapier may not be able to perform the action it needs to complete the workflow. Open the target app and confirm that the connected account has the right level of access. If you are missing admin rights or write permissions, update the account or switch to one that has the correct permissions before continuing. After that, go back to the Zap setup and make sure you don't leave any fields empty. Missing fields are a common reason Zaps fail, especially if Zapier expects required data in a step and doesn't receive it. Carefully review each step in the workflow and fill in every required field. If there are drop-downs, text boxes, mapping fields, or optional-looking inputs that are actually required by the action, make sure everything is completed properly. Even one blank field can cause the Zap to break when you try to run or publish it. Once everything has been checked, repaired, and filled in, click Publish. This will save your changes and activate the updated version of the Zap. After publishing, test the workflow again to confirm that the Error 500 is gone and that the Zap now runs as expected. So to quickly recap, if you get a Zapier Error 500, first check whether the target app is down using downforeveryone.justme.com. Then, check Zapier's status page at status.zapier.com. After that, open the Zap inside Zapier, disconnect and reconnect the app account, confirm your user has admin or write access, make sure no fields are left empty, and then publish the Zap again. That process solves a lot of these issues without wasting time. If this tutorial helped you fix the problem, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more helpful software guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.